Article 13, the so-called meme ban, the end of PewDiePie and the killer of YouTube. Prepare for total devastation. Or don't. A lot of people are calling it game over for our favourite social media platform, but is that actually true? Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today I'm asking, will Article 13 destroy YouTube? Before we get into this video, I'm going to ask you guys if you live in Europe and also what you think about Article 13. If you haven't heard of it yet, don't worry because you're about to find out. Also, please do leave a thumbs up on this video and share it with a friend. Okay, so Article 13 refers to an amendment of the European copyright law which was passed in September 2018 and could come into effect in early 2019. A lot of people in the online content creation industry are very against the change in the law, including the creator of the World Wide Web himself, Tim Berners-Lee. Whilst at the moment the law looks set to affect member countries of the European Union, it also could set a precedent and become international law, which could be devastating for a whole heap more content creators across the world. So what is Article 13? Well, at the moment, under current law, YouTube isn't responsible for copyright violations. It only has to act to remove content when directed to do so by copyright holders. So basically, when a video is flagged, they're obliged to act. Why does the law need to change? Well, the general concern is that more and more people are listening and watching and reading copyrighted material without the actual creators being not only credited, but properly paid for it. An amendment to Article 13 would mean that YouTube and all other content creation platforms like it would be legally obliged to police copyright material themselves. This would mean the platform developing costly and stringent automated filters to scan every piece of uploaded content and stop anything that might violate copyright from being uploaded. Currently, YouTube has a content ID system that automatically compares the content of new videos to a database of copyright videos and audios. It lets copyright holders decide whether or not to block a video that uses their content or run ads against it. I've used it a few times and for me, it works. The new law will simply eradicate that system, replacing it with a far more vicious alternative. Rather than warnings, people will simply get copyright strikes. But beyond that, as YouTube is now liable for hosting any copyright content, it will mean that people's videos will be blocked from being uploaded, and it's likely that their future videos will be blocked too. There simply aren't enough humans to look into this on a case-by-case scenario, and this means that people will be even more at the cruel mercy of YouTube's bots. And it gets even worse. This doesn't just apply to all future uploads, it also applies to all prior uploads using copyrighted content. Those videos will not just be demonetized, but removed, and the host channel's in total jeopardy. This is something that PewDiePie discusses in depth in his November 15th Pewd News video, which you should check out. The criticism a lot of people have thrown at the lawmakers here is that they don't totally understand what is within the law, what the specifics are, and what this will apply to and not apply to. At the moment, when people use copyrighted content, they are allowed to do so long as it is fair use, which YouTube breaks down into purpose, nature, amount, and effect. Fair use is typically applied to news stories, discussion videos, education videos, and parody videos, and it is hard to tell what Article 13 will mean for the existing fair use policy. This seems like a good time to talk about the meme ban. So Article 13 has been labelled the meme ban. Memes are murky water when it comes to fair use. They're technically fair use as they are being used for parody, but they generally do include copyrighted images or material. The worry is now that platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and beyond will deploy stringent copyright scanners that won't account for fair use like memes. They will simply see a content match and punish the uploader, despite the tone and intent of the post. Now, who would this affect? So YouTubers that use any copyrighted material, pictures, music, even musical sequences, videos, audios, in the EU, they simply won't be allowed. Now this would apply to huge channels like Philip DeFranco, H3H3, PewDiePie, all of the news channels out there, a lot of educational channels that rely on visual stimuli, and list channels, so our very own Most Amazing Top 10 would no longer be able to talk about any movies, artists, or news events, and we couldn't use anything visual or audio to illustrate the point, which would kind of suck for viewers. This might also be the question on Life's Biggest Questions. It would also apply to parody channels, mashup channels, highlights channels, gamers. Not that this is the focus of the video, but Twitch as a whole platform would be in total jeopardy. So yeah, we have just been talking about big channels, but millions of small channels would also be punished without their brand and name to fall back on. While a lot of you watching may think, oh well, it's only in Europe and I don't live there. 1. Europe is massive and any content creators uploading within the EU would be punished and many obliterated. It would also mean that videos North American creators and creators across the world upload would not be shown in Europe. So basically anything that violates Article 13, even if it's not uploaded in Europe, will not be shown to the European audience. Without the European audience, a lot of people would lose views and thousands if not millions of dollars of revenue. Also, with less eyeballs on content, advertisers will be less willing to advertise their products on YouTube, which means less ads to generate revenue anyway. That is YouTube and all of YouTubers' business models, and taking a huge bite out of it certainly would hurt. But what are the options here? Well, all isn't lost. Firstly, vloggers, videographers, and musicians all creating 100% of their own content would be okay. However, any musician that was covering another or even sampling another would have their videos blocked and their channel penalized, which isn't great. I have absolutely no love for Marshmello, but a lot of people do, and anything that he mixes would be absolutely done for. YouTube just simply couldn't be a platform for him to upload it. Unless you want to watch vloggers and 100% original music and film content creation that use absolutely no audio and visual citations from anything else, a solution would need to be created in the form of copyright licensing. Perhaps more people would pay for subscriptions to Getty or buy music licensing, but how would YouTube even know that they bought the rights? They wouldn't. They'd simply remove them with their new systems. The other solution is a whole wealth of copyright-free images and sounds being created to use, but doesn't that take all of the money out of creativity altogether? If people are providing pictures and music for free with no copyright for people to use in their videos, what does that mean for the value of artistic creation? Beyond YouTube, this new change in law tugs at some pretty intense questions. Should Article 13 really be influencing art and creation in this way? Is that not a complete violation of creativity? Also, who are the EU to be deciding what people put into their art and what they avoid? Again, isn't that one step further towards a police state? I for one feel very uncomfortable with this, and to be honest, YouTube is one of the least of my concerns, and it's my job. So Article 13 could really hurt YouTube. Maybe it couldn't destroy it because there are ways to work around the new law, but those ways will end up diminishing the platform, which as a knock-on effect could destroy it and its business model. The way to help is to be active in the conversation. YouTube is encouraging people to discuss the issue with the hashtag #SaveOurInternet. I don't think anyone disagrees that artists should be paid for their work, but Article 13 doesn't seem like the best way forward. So guys, what do you think? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Would you watch YouTube if it were just vloggers? Even then, vloggers had better steer clear of vlogging at parties for fear of capturing copyrighted music, and they'd better not turn on their car radios. Better yet, they'd better just stay indoors. Wouldn't that be all kinds of fun to watch? Seriously, let me know your thoughts on this, and what do you think this will mean for the face of YouTube? Also, while you're down there, why don't you like this video and share it with a friend? Before I go, I want to read some of your comments from one of my most recent videos. It was, what if the Gigantophis snake didn't go extinct? Now, we know that you guys love a good snake, and I love a good comment, so I'm reading them. Avery Lopez Bain said, what if anacondas were bigger than humans? Aren't they, though? Already? Max Schmidt said, I held a young crocodile, but if somebody would give me any kind of snake, I would start screaming and never come back. Oh, no stakes for Max then. A good question to end on from Chandrik Key. They wrote, I would like to ask, is it possible for two giant constricting snakes, such as the reticulated python and the green anaconda, to crossbreed with each other? If it is, what would the python-anaconda snake hybrid look like? I think I'm gonna leave it there, guys, because I always do like to end my videos with deep questions about snake sex. If you've got any further thoughts, do leave them in the comments section down below. But for now, I'm your host Rebecca Felgate. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, stay curious, stay alert, and never ever stop questioning.